Oh, yeah. What's going on? Here recently, within the last 24 hours, there has been some talk about Draymond Green being this great defensive player and being a top five, I want to say top three defensive player of all time. All time? Absolutely not. Draymond Green, I guess he's good at defense. He's never done anything. I mean, yeah, in the 2015 finals, he was kind of shutting LeBron James down, especially late in the series clinching game for the Warriors. I saw him block LeBron James' shot a couple times, sliding his feet with LeBron and LeBron going up to finish, and he just blocked his shot, denying LeBron of late game buckets that he seems to have trouble getting, you know, that he seems to have had trouble getting throughout his career. Draymond Green was deemed by Steve Kerr, I believe, and mainstream media, but mainly Steve Kerr, one of the top 3 or 5 greatest defenders of all time. Maybe this generation, but not all time. And, that's not saying much, saying he's the best defender or one of the best defenders in this generation. But that's not his fault so much as it's Steve Kerr's fault and the people, pushing this propaganda. But Draymond Green had to call you to the front because you like this shit. Come on now, you like this shit, Dre. I have a list of some power forwards I want to run off that were great defensively and that I don't think Draymond Green is in the same class as. And most of these power forwards played in the same era. See, when you take into account the greatness of a player, you have to consider who he's playing against, the competition level, the degree of difficulty, so to speak. I don't think Draymond Green's had that many challenges in his career. You got Anthony Davis. You may have, well, Nikola Jokic is a center. But, I'm trying to think of some power forwards in these times, in these days, in this era, that were great. Outside of Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, who ruined his own career, I can't really think of any power forwards that are playing in his time that are great or not even just great offensively and defensively, but just great on defense. And, well, I guess you have to consider offense as well because they're trying to score and he has to stop them. There aren't many players I can't even think of them off the top of my head. I would have to do some research. But there aren't many players that he's playing against that shows us, oh yeah, he's a great defensive player, man. He was out there stopping such and such, or he was out there giving such and such a hard time. I don't think we've ever heard that with Draymond Green. Maybe you have, but I haven't. So we got Ben Wallace, who I think is a direct comparison as far as height and size. Ben Wallace a little more brolic, but height, definitely. Kevin Garnett. You got Anthony Davis playing in this era. Dennis Rodman, Alonzo Mourning, and Tim Duncan. You also had players like Karl Malone, Kevin McHale, Dennis Rodman. Did I say Dennis Rodman? Yes, I did. So those are just to name a few. All of these players, great defensive players, and pretty much played in the same era. Ben Wallace, Kevin Garnett, Anthony Davis, Dennis Rodman, Alonzo Mourning, and Tim Duncan. Now you got Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan, who were great on both ends of the floor. Dennis Rodman, Alonzo Mourning, and Ben Wallace, along with the likes of Draymond Green. And I have to put Draymond Green in there for the purposes of the conversation because I don't think he belongs in the same sentence as these other players. But outside of Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan and Anthony Davis, he's good on both ends of the floor as well. Ben Wallace, Dennis Rodman, Alonzo Mourning, and Draymond Green are pretty much defensive players. Oh, shit. I had him pulled up here, but I guess I'm going to have to pull it back up. That's why I hate this fucking app. But let's see here. Draymond Green. Come on, man. Goddamn. Now, Draymond Green has never averaged 10 rebounds a game for his career. He only averages career, and he's played 13 years. In that 13 years, he's only averaged 8 points, 1 block, 1 steal, and 6 rebounds at the power forward position. What are we doing, ESPN? What are we doing, Steve Kerr? You played in the 90s, Steve. I know you got to do it, though. I know you got to do it, Steve. But come on, man. Just say something like he's one of the best defenders that I've ever seen. Or he's one of the better defenders I've ever seen. But don't say he's one of the all-time great defenders. Or he's an all-time great defender. Don't do that. This man at the power forward position, career average in rebounds is 6.9, and he's never averaged double-digit rebounds in his career. He came close one time in 2015-16 at 9.5 a game. He does have a Defensive Player of the Year with 2 steals, 1 block, and 7 rebounds. Now, 2 steals, that's cool. That's great. But for a power forward, well, in my opinion, I want to see what your rebounds and blocks look like. Especially your defensive rebounds and your blocks. That's what we judge defense in regards to power forwards. The steals is just extra. But if you only average 1 block and 7 rebounds along with 2 steals, that's the Defensive Player of the Year. It says a lot about this era, man. Draymond Green, only 1 Defensive Player of the Year in 13 years. Like I said, never averaged double-digit rebounds. Only averaged 1 steal and 1 block for his career. Only averaged 2 steals 1 time. And has never averaged more than 2 blocks a game. He's never played, he's played 82 games once, 80 plus twice. All right, man. So I think Draymond Green's defense is a little overrated. Well, not a little overrated. Draymond's defense is overrated. Draymond Green is a good player. But if he had never played for the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry and the great teams that he's played on, yeah, he's complimented and played his part and has been a significant piece on that team. But what would we say, if anything, if he would even be relevant about Draymond Green if he didn't play for the Warriors? Outside of maybe his antics and shit like that. That's probably the only thing he would be famous for, or notable for, or infamous for, is his antics. If he didn't play for the Warriors, he would still be a decent player. I don't think he's that good. He would still be a decent player. But would we be talking about him, especially as one of the greatest defenders ever? All right. So now that we got Draymond Green out the way, let's go to a direct comparison, in my opinion, Ben Wallace. Now, Draymond Green is a 6'6" power forward. They say he's a small forward. I doubt that. He has no skills in regards to being a small forward. Ben Wallace, power forward and center at 6'9". So not really undersized at the power forward position, but definitely the center position. But I still think it's a good comparison. Now, Ben Wallace has played 82 games. It looks like one time in his career. That was 05-06. And he led the league in games played that year. Now, he's played 80, 80, 81, 81. So he's played 80 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Ben Wallace is. His best year was in 01-02. He averaged 3.5 blocks and 13 rebounds. Won the Defensive Player of the Year. 2002-2003, the very next year, he won Defensive Player of the Year again, back-to-back. Averaging 3.2 blocks and 15 rebounds. Now, the first year, he led the league as well in blocks and rebounds. In the second year, he won Defensive Player of the Year. He led the league in rebounds at 15. But he still averaged 3.2 blocks, 1 steal, along with those 3 blocks and 15 rebounds. I said that right, yeah. So 01-02, 02-03, Defensive Player of the Year, 3.5 blocks, 13 rebounds in 01-02, 3.2 blocks, 15 rebounds in 02-03, and also averaging 1 steal in both of those seasons. Ben Wallace also won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years in a row. He's done it twice, both times with Detroit. He is an NBA champion as well. And we know Draymond Green has 4 championships with the Warriors. But Ben Wallace in 04-05, he averaged 2 blocks, 1 steal, and 11 rebounds. I'm sorry, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 12 rebounds. 05-06, the second year that he won Defensive Player of the Year. Now, this is the second round, or he's won 4. This is the second time he's back-to-back. So in 05-06, he led the league in block shots at 2 a game, steals at 1. I'm sorry, not led the league, but he won Defensive Player of the Year at 2 steals a game. I'm sorry, 1 block a game. 2 blocks a game, I'm sorry. This shit's so little, man. 1 steal and 11.3 rebounds. Ben Wallace's career average for rebounds is 9.6, but he averaged double-digit rebounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times in his career, and has led the league in rebounds twice. Led the league in block shots once, and has averaged more than 3 blocks 1, 2, 3 times in his career. And a career average of 2 blocks a game, 1 steal, and 9.6 rebounds. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, 1-time NBA champion. So I think it's safe to say that Ben Wallace is a better defender than Draymond Green. So that knocks him out of a spot in the top 5. Because I think Ben Wallace is definitely one of the top 5 defending power forwards ever. Especially how he handled Shaquille O'Neal in the 2004 NBA Finals. That solidified it for me. He was always great at blocking shots, giving great effort on defense, being relentless on the rebounds. But when they won that series, and he was so good at it that the Cavaliers brought him in to play with LeBron. I don't remember that. But yeah, man, I think that solidified him when that NBA Finals performance against the Lakers in 04. Now, let's go to Kevin Garnett, man. Yeah. Kevin Garnett. That's that little penny. Kevin Garnett. 6'11", power forward. Kevin Garnett can play some small forward too. Maybe center. They have it here. Career 17 points a game, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. I thought KG would be around 20 points a game for his career, honestly. But Kevin Garnett, one-time MVP, one-time Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year season was 2007-2008, first year with the Boston Celtics, where he averaged 1 block a game, 1 steal, and 12 rebounds. No, I'm sorry. 1 block, 1 steal, and 9 rebounds. Defensive Player of the Year. Now, he's led the league in and like I said, we judge power forwards off rebounds and blocks. Draymond Green has never averaged double-digit rebounds. We just went over Ben Wallace's numbers. Kevin Garnett has averaged double-digit rebounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times in his career. And has led the league in rebounds 1, 2, 3, 4 times in a row. 2003, 2004 to 2006, 2007. Career average in rebounds, 10 a game, 17 points. And like I said, multiple-time All-Star, one-time NBA champion, and no, I think Paul Pierce won the Finals MVP. Yeah. But Hall of Fame player. Great on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively. But we're just focused on defense. So he has a Defensive Player of the Year. Never averaged more than 2 steals a game, but he's a power forward. Never averaged more than 1 block a game. But in my opinion, seeing him play, he was a shot blocker. And like I said, the rebounds, man. Led the league in rebounds 4 times, 13.9, 13.5, 12.7, 12.8 between 2003, 2004, and 2006, 2007 before he moved to Boston. So, with that said, Draymond Green has never had to guard somebody like Kevin Garnett. And Kevin Garnett and Ben Wallace played in the same era and used to play against each other. Kevin Garnett is definitely a better defender than Draymond Green. So that's 2. So we got 2. All right, let's go to Anthony Davis. AD. The brow. My nigga. I fuck with Anthony Davis, man. I fuck with AD, man. Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis plays in this era, and who he plays against, you know. He doesn't really have much competition either at his position. But Anthony Davis has a skill set like a small forward and can play power forward, so he's versatile. Kevin Garnett's versatile too. But Anthony Davis' skill set fits this era. Could you imagine if Kevin Garnett played in this era, bro? Anthony Davis' career average, 24 points a game, 10 rebounds. He beats Draymond right there already, averaging 10 rebounds. But let's go to his numbers. Anthony Davis has led the league in blocks, something that Draymond Green has never done. Never even averaged 2 blocks a game. Anthony Davis has led the league in blocks 3 times. 2.8 in 2013-14, 2.9 in 2014-15, and 2.6 in 2017-18. All for the New Orleans Pelicans. He's averaged more than 2 blocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's averaged 2 or more blocks in 12 of his 13 years in the NBA. He does not have a Defensive Player of the Year. Came close in 2019-20. Came in second place. But he is an NBA champion. Multiple time All-Star. For his career, he's averaged 2.3 blocks and 1 steal and 10 rebounds. And he's averaged double-digit rebounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in his 13-year career. Now we can knock him and say he has say he doesn't have the competition or whatever the case may be. But this is somebody that Draymond Green plays against. And yeah, he's hurt, street clothes, whatever. But this is direct competition for Draymond Green. And his numbers aren't better. Like I said, 1 block shot a game, 1 steal a game for Draymond Green. And never led the league in rebounding and never averaged double-digit rebounds. Anthony Davis, I think it's unanimous. He's a better defender than Draymond Green. All right, now we got Dennis Rodman. Dennis, the Menace. I wonder why they never called him that. Like why was that never his nickname? Maybe they did call him that, and I'm tripping, but nah. It's so obvious. If it isn't clicking that, oh, y'all remember they used to call Dennis the Menace. They never really called him that. That's funny, man. Dennis the Menace is on here though. The Worm, Dennis the Menace. Country, Psycho, Rozilla, I remember that. I remember The Worm. That's his most famous one. Demolition Man, never heard of that. El Loco, never heard of that. Never heard of Psycho, never heard of Country. But Rozilla and The Worm, yes. Dennis the Menace. Career points. Dennis Rodman. Career points, 7.3 a game, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. The 13 rebounds right there. He's a better defender than Draymond Green. He's played 82 games 3 times. He's led the league with 82 games 3 times. But let's not focus on that. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Dennis Rodman. Now, Dennis Rodman has never averaged more than 1 block a game, has never averaged more than 1 steal a game. But where Dennis Rodman's value comes from is his versatility in regards to being able to defend positions 1 through 5. He can guard your point guard through center. I've seen him guard Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning, seen him guard Michael Jordan, seen him guard Scottie Pippen, seen him guard, guards, forwards, and big men. If they need him to, especially in his younger years, he could guard a point guard. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in Detroit, 1989 through 90 and 90-91. And he's led the league in rebounding an astonishing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row. From 1991-92 to 1997-98 when he retired when he played his last year with the Chicago Bulls. So from the early 90s, 91-92, with Detroit, all the way to the time he won his last championship with the Bulls in 97-98, he led the league in rebounding. 18 a game in 91-92, 18 a game 92-93, 17 a game 93-94, 16 a game 94-95, 14 a game 95-96, 16 a game 96-97, and 15 a game 97-98. On top of that, he's averaged double-digit rebounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in his career. And he's averaged, and those are all in a row. 10 years in a row, he averaged double-digit rebounds, and 7 of those 10, he led the league in rebounding. And like I said, his versatility on defense definitely warrants him a spot over Draymond Green as one of the best defenders in regards to power forwards that's ever played the game. So Dennis Rodman is definitely a better defender than Draymond Green. Career average 13 points, man. 13 rebounds. And just going crazy on the boards. And on top of that, like I said, he could defend any position, but later in his career, he mainly stuck with the power forwards and centers. And Dennis Rodman was only 6'7". And not only was he a great defender, he was good at the psychological game too, in regards to getting players out of their game. That's also a factor in regards to being a great defender. That plays a factor in the role too. Dennis Rodman, better defender than Draymond Green. Now let's go to Alonzo Mourning. Zoe. 7 points a game. Oh, Alonzo Mourning, 17 points a game. I'm sorry. 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Now those rebounds are suspect, but let's check out the numbers. Let's look into it a little further. Alonzo Mourning has averaged double-digit rebounds 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times in his career. I can't believe he's never averaged more than 10 rebounds just 4 times. But Alonzo Mourning averages 2 blocks a game for his career. Led the league in block shots twice, in 1998-99 and 99-2000. At 3.9 a game in 98-99 and 3.7 a game in 99-2000. He's averaged 3 blocks, 3 or more blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4 times in his career. And he's averaged 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4 times in his career. He's averaged 2 or more blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times in his 15 years, he's averaged 2 or more blocks. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, where he led the league in block shots in 1998-99 and 99-2000. Career average 2.8 blocks. And has averaged double-digit rebounds in his career. Alonzo Mourning is definitely a better player, a better defensive player than Draymond Green. Not only that, Alonzo Mourning has an NBA championship, multiple-time All-Star Hall of Famer, and has played in the same era as Dennis Rodman, Kevin Garnett, and Ben Wallace. Last one, man. Tim motherfucking Duncan. One of the all-time great power forwards. Tim Duncan averaged 19 points a game and 10 rebounds and 3 assists. So right there, he already beats Draymond Green. Plays on both ends of the floor, just like Kevin Garnett, just like Anthony Davis. Tim Duncan actually led the league in games played at 82 his rookie year. He led the league again in games played in 1998-99 at 50. That was the lockout year. Played 82 games, 1, 2, 3. 3 times in his career, and 80 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in his career. Rookie of the Year, 2-time NBA MVP. He's never won a Defensive Player of the Year, but Tim Duncan averaged 2 blocks a game for his career and 10 rebounds. He averaged double-digit rebounds, 1, 2. He's never led the NBA in rebounds, but he averaged double-digit rebounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times. 13 times in a row from his rookie year to 2009-2010. He averaged double-digit rebounds, man. On top of that, averaging 2 blocks a game. His MVP year, he averaged 2.5 blocks. His first MVP year, 2001, 2002, he averaged 2.5 blocks a game and 12 rebounds, along with 25.5 points. Second MVP in a row, he averaged 23 points a game, 2.9 blocks, which we can kind of round to 3, and 12.9 rebounds. Draymond Green has never had numbers like that. Tim Duncan, again, career 2 blocks a game and 10 rebounds. So Tim Duncan is definitely a better defender than Draymond Green. So I just named you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players better than Draymond Green as far as at the power forward position that have ever played in the NBA defensively. And I know there are players before him, like Kevin McHale, players like Bill Russell, like that, that are better than defenders than Draymond Green. And like I said, Ben Wallace, Kevin Garnett, Dennis Rodman, Alonzo Mourning, and Tim Duncan all played in the same era, man. And we're not even talking about centers. And Nikola Jokic has never played against players like this either. So, with all that, man, all that information I presented to you, man, hopefully somebody watches this shit and gives it a like, man, or something like that. But, yeah, with all the information I gave to you, I think it's safe to say Draymond Green is not a top defender all time in the NBA. In this era, yeah, top defender. Since he's been in the NBA, yeah, I guess you could say he's been a top defender. There's only one defensive player of the year one time, and that's at 2 steals a game. He's never averaged a block, and has never averaged double-digit rebounds. Well, I'm sorry, never averaged a block. I think it's, let me go back. Just real quick. Bear with me, man. Bear with me, though. Draymond Green. Come on, man. God damn, boy. Come on, man. I apologize. Draymond Green averaged 1 block a game for his career. And 1 steal and 6.9 rebounds, man. That's all I got.